Welcome back to Pass the Pop Culture. I'm MrPhen, and this is Ricky.
What's up, guys?
Today we're going to be kind of talking about the Black Widow movie, kind of do a quick review, and then we kind of have a little bit of rant because Ricky's angry about Sony. So we're going to kind of go over the lackluster state of play. And he mentioned something about censorship.
Censorship. Whoa.
See?
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, because the new game I think it is the game. Yeah, it's Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I haven't played it personally, but I saw on today another article or something like that. Like they just mentioned hey, the game's getting censored on PlayStation. So Sony's in some deep waters right now.
So what do you mean by try to explain what do you mean by getting censored?
Okay, so I guess we'll go.
Yeah, let's just start here because I'm more interested. in this.
Okay, yeah. So basically, what happened is that if of course, hopefully the audience knows about Doki Doki Literature Club. If not, it's basically a psychological anime girl visual novel. I guess it's a psychological horror, and that it plays on the whole trope of I'm just a sweet girl and blah blah blah, and then there's actually they commit violence acts towards themselves and others. Yeah, it was because I played that. I was a huge fan of Doki Doki Literature Club. And then I started trying to convert everyone to go play it. I converted you to go play it, and then you regret it every day.
Yep. I was so shook.
But yeah, no, it was a good game. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was clever, and I think especially as an indie title, it was interesting. And I really enjoyed how. Well, I guess we're going to talk a little bit about spoilers here, but it's a free game. If you haven't played it takes 4 hours.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty old as well.
And it's been out for some time. So if you haven't played it, and there's huge spoilers everywhere. Everyone kind of knows what it is. But so basically, I really like the mechanic of having to go into the files yourself for the actual your actual computer, deleting stuff and all that. I think it added a really nice level of immersion and everything. And so I had high respects for the creativity and all that, especially as I don't want to use aspiring game dev, but because that sounds a little cringe. But as someone who wants to learn and understand game design and how to make video games better, I thought that was very clever, and I appreciate it. I tilt my hat towards them. But so basically that long run around to kind of understand the story is that he came out with a part 2 essentially, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, and so it came out on multiple platforms and everything. The problem is that there's a certain scene in Doki Doki Literature Club, and again spoilers, I guess.
Okay, say minor spoiler.
But it's a spoiler that was in the first. It's in the first game as well as their as the plus version of the game. So basically, the part where I believe Yuri, I think the girl with the purple hair, she stabs herself.
Oh, the one everybody picks.
Yes. And I'm still sad that, because she was my pick. And so I knew she stabs herself, but instead it's censored, so it's the blood is black instead of, red, of course. So the Sony made him change it so that it is the blood is black, and so which is an interesting choice on Sony's on Sony's part to censor that scene, and then for them the development team to change it to black. But I don't like censorship in general. I think it's not healthy for these platforms to go ahead and say what a game developer can and cannot do. As long as it's legal, I think it should be okay. As long as you're not doing obscene, immoral acts to different peoples and stuff like that, then I can see why someone would want to center certain things.
Wait, so this is the only thing that was censored?
I believe that was the only thing that was censored, but it could have been some other stuff, but that was the main thing everyone was taking issue about, and there's comparison videos online to see what the censored version of the video looks like the censored version in game and how it looked originally. And so it's creepy and gross when you see it the first time, because it's
right.
Whoa, she's killing herself, that is kind of crazy, but I don't see why they had to go out of their way to just censor that scene. I mean, there's something that I don't like, especially with Sony, is that they're really inconsistent with their policies on censorship. And so like, cause they'll like again, we're gonna rant on The Last of Us because we're still not over it. But like for The Last of Us, they showed full on nudity, right? Like but someone's like an anime girl stabs herself. A few PNG and red pixels are a little too much, but they'll have
a kid getting shot.
But they'll have motion capture sex scenes with full nudity, and then they pat Neil Druckmann on the back and be like, "Good job." You know what I mean? Like it's not okay, but of course, it's an indie title. They don't have the weight to throw around, and then of course, Tilu's like a Sony exclusive, and they do a lot to kind of hype it up, so it makes sense why they would give him a pass. But I don't think they should be. If The Last of Us is getting a pass, why can't some small indie game like you know what I mean?
Well, like equal treatment for like everybody, no matter how big or small.
And then even like on Steam and Nintendo and Xbox, they're all the platforms they're fine with it, but Sony's the only one regulating this, which I don't understand. Well, I could see maybe Nintendo. Because,
I was about to say
their whole thing is family friendly, whatever. Even then, I'd be against it, but I would understand the motive but they didn't. And oddly enough, Nintendo's been pretty good about censorship and all that stuff, from what I recall.
They have a hentai game on their shop, so
and then that's like another thing. Like
Sony won't do that.
Yeah, like I just don't get it why you would need to censor that. I think when it starts messing with like the artist's vision for the game and then stuff like that, and he himself has said it's not a big deal, the creator of the game, and so it's like, well, yeah, I guess it's not, but it's always incremental. The censorships and stuff like that, it's always you can't say this word or that word, or like don't use profane language, and then you just can't outright say things, and then it just becomes a problem. And I think, and then it was it's not. It's not in the realm of the super like crazy obscene like just garbage stuff. Like it's just like it's bad, but I mean it's not like we haven't seen worse like and
like a rated T game basically.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you have like GTA, you got strippers and everything, and it's like there's all these crazy things like there's nudity and all this stuff like we've seen it before. It's nothing crazy or new, but I just thought it was interesting that they decided to censor it. And so that kind of like, as someone who wants to make games and potentially put games on platforms such as Sony's, PlayStation, I just find it a little like, it doesn't sit right with me 100%. And some people it's like not a big deal, but then it's also a big deal because it's like, it's such a weird thing. It's such a weird thing to like make them do and to change.
It could be like the start of something huge that Sony's going to start doing.
Yeah, and they've done little things here and there for a few other titles. I think it was Devil May Cry. Like they did the lens flare on the butt crack.
Well, yeah,
or something like that. Like
that's like typical anime, but I don't.
Yeah, I know. But it's like it's just kind of weird. Like when they pick and choose to censor, and I'm not sure if like there's a reason like who. Maybe it's just poor management, and then they're just like, you know what, I don't like you, dude, and then we're gonna make you censor your game. I don't know. It's like it's kind of a waste of time.
So this Doki Plus, is it like the old game just?
I think from what I understand, like, because I went on the Steam page, it's basically, from what like other reviews are saying, it's kind of like a prequel, so you kind of understand where all the characters are coming from before the main events of Doki Doki, and then it just kind of bleeds into that, no pun intended. But so basically, yeah, it's kind of like a prequel. You kind of see like, but before, it goes into the old and then it goes into like the old one, and then it's just extra content. It's like side stories and stuff, and extra art.
They censored that, but didn't one of the girls, like, spoilers, like hang herself?
Yeah, and so
they showed it, and she's just like dangling there.
I've yet to play the game. It's something that I'm kind of 50-50 on for playing the game for a separate reason, because something that I didn't like is that I guess I shouldn't say that I didn't like the whole draw to the game for me was like the whole psychological like fourth wall breaking horror of it.
Yeah, and
so. The thing is to accommodate console players. He, from what I understand, and I'm probably wrong, of course, because I haven't played, but from what I'm told, is that there's like a virtual computer in the game, and then you go into those files to do that. So you don't actually, it's not like in the first one. They changed that. And so I understand he's trying to like capture the broader like market of like, you know, players too, and so of course that means console. So you can't do that. That's and so stupid. I mean, it would be a lot to ask for him to make 2 separate versions, the PC version where you do all that and then go, because, you know, that's a lot of programming, and I understand someone who doesn't want to do all that work. But I don't know, that draw into the game for me, that's what made me really enjoy the first one, and knowing that they took that out for the second one, it was like not to knock the game. You know, it's probably just as good. Yeah. But to me, like, I really enjoyed that aspect and really liked that fourth wall kind of like break to the whole game where you had to go and change the files and everything.
Yeah, that's like the biggest shock of the game, right?
Yeah, like the Just Monica stuff, and you gotta delete the files and stuff like that.
I remember texting you.
Like, what the heck? Like, what do I do?
Oh, Ricky, it's making me delete some files. Am I supposed to do this? And you're like, just do it. Just keep playing. I'm like, I don't know if I should.
Scarred you for life.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, dude. Like,
but to get rid of that.
Yeah, like, so they got. I guess you're supposed to do it like an in-game, like, computer thing. I'm not even sure if that's even more meta. I guess because you're doing it in a virtual computer within a computer on a console. So you're
playing somebody playing the game on the computer?
No. It's the same thing, but I guess you just have like, it's just, instead of actually going to the files, it's just like a separate like screen where it's just like, hey, here's the computer files, change them.
I feel like maybe you could delete like a file on the PlayStation or something.
Just brick the whole system.
Congratulations, you jailbroke your PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you got like some like Russian spyware on there now, and like, you know, it's like I don't appreciate how Sony censored, and I just didn't like how they changed that aspect, and I don't think that, I wouldn't say that it diminishes the game in regards to removing the whole computer part, but it definitely kind of it does make me kind of like, I don't know, maybe another time where someone does like a patch another way or a mod where you do that, or I don't know. There's probably, I don't know. We'll see. But I didn't like that they changed that from the first game. So I thought, well, it's a side story. It's like $15. Maybe it comes up on sale or something. I'll play it or whatever. Because I really enjoyed the first one. I think you can. But yeah, you know, you know that because I got to play
just that one thing out of the whole game.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know, but it's just Sony's been kind of just like on this weird roller coaster right now that it's just, I don't know, it's like, it seems like we might see, you know, Xbox, you know, kind of just come back up. No, it's like because if they're going to be censoring, people are not going to put their games on PlayStation. And then luckily PlayStation has enough first party titles to stay competitive. But especially like if Xbox acquires a lot of first party titles and they say, hey, game devs, we're not going to be jerks to you like Sony is, you know, then because I know Sony's having some weird problems with like the indie devs and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember
seeing something like that.
And so it's like, if they're just not going to be cooperative, they're not going to put their games on their system. You know, so I don't know. Maybe they're going to shoot themselves in the foot, and then they're going to be kind of like their own downfall. Like it seems kind of, and I don't want that.
I'm like, I don't want an Xbox.
It's like you know, because I really like what PlayStation has put out. I grew up playing PlayStation. You know, PlayStation 2 was the it thing. Like, man, like I played that like to death, man. Like I had that. That was probably the longest console I've like ever owned when I was a kid. Yep. So it's like I don't like it that the direction Sony's kind of taking, and especially to go into like the whole state of play and stuff like that. It really disappointed on some of the stuff. Yes, they said there was gonna be no God of War and then no Horizon Zero Dawn, whatever that the next game was supposed to be. I never played.
I haven't played the first one either.
But yeah, like from the games that they showed, I mean, any of them stick out to you?
No. I mean, I'm just still waiting for God of War, and also Elden Ring. But the one that they did showcase, we have on the screen over here, is the Trials of Midgard or whatever, that Viking one. Where it's like that part
seemed interesting to you?
Yeah, I don't know. I like Vikings.
You like because you like Valheim and all that.
Actually,
stuff.
I think that comes out this month, like next week. Actually, it's a good like a party game, basically. Like just pick up three friends if you have any, and then just play.
If you have friends, right? Yeah.
For me, it's my cousins. So but no, other than that, not really. I mean, was 30 minutes of just like, all right, well, I don't care.
I was playing Victoria 2 while just like
I was
watching
playing
that. I was like, like it didn't interest me.
And then like they keep hyping up this Deathloop game. And it's just like every time I see more of it, it's just like I don't really see the appeal of it. Like Dishonored already did all this.
Yeah, and I was gonna say because it's from the studio that made Dishonored, right? And so I don't know. It's just it seems like they were maybe too afraid to go like in a very different direction. So they took, because you can see it's heavily. I never played Dishonored, but I've seen gameplay of it, and I'm like, it's almost a 1-to-1.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't want to say it's a carbon copy, but I mean,
but like just
some of the powers,
settings.
yeah,
and so I guess to kind of go over some of the games they announced, because like like Moss Book 2. I mean, I've never heard of that. It's a cute animal, though. I heard like it was pretty good, but it never really caught my like attention.
I like the animal.
I mean, yeah, it's a cool design. It just it's not for me. And it's a VR game again, so it's like I'm not. I don't own the VR stuff. I'm not too into VR. I don't like. I get car sick pretty bad, so I never really put money into getting the VR. So yes, and then so let me see. Arcadegeddon. Yeah, I don't know that one. I was like, I had to listen to the announcer to how to say it. I'm like, Arcadegeddon. Like that was a little. I get what they're trying to do. It was a little bit of a mouthful.
If I can't say it, I ain't gonna play it.
But yeah, it's like a hero shooter, and so it's out in early access. That's what the article says here. And then
interesting. The makers of Predator and Friday the 13th made it.
I don't know.
Oh, so it's their like version of the Splatoon.
I don't know. I never played Splatoon. It never caught my attention, so I think I'm just gonna not pick this up. I'm
not a fan of shooters right now, so
I don't know. It's kind of just like if it's gonna be Splatoon, I'd rather just get Splatoon because they probably did it better.
I mean, two
I don't know.
So.
It's like, yeah, and then like, it looks interesting. I like the art style. I like it. I think it's cool. I always like the stylistic, cool different aesthetics. I like how, it seems like a lot of these titles are now going for more stylized looks versus like the super realistic kind of looks that a lot of these games have been going for lately. So I kind of appreciate that little change in art direction. I think it works well. But
there you go. Yeah. Tribes of Midgard. There you go.
Tribes of Midgard.
Why did I say Mishgard? That one I'm excited. See, July 27th. See, maybe we should stream that. It's like $19, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad then. It was like it was a $60 price tag. But I know they plan on like doing like a lot of post game like launch stuff, and they had this whole thing of what they plan to do to keep the game fresh, and so it seems like there's someone interested in it. I'm a little hesitant on it. I don't know about you.
I'm not. I'll probably buy it and then regret it 5 minutes later.
Yeah, because usually it's like I'm like, I'm not gonna buy it, and you're like, I'm gonna buy it, and you're like, Ricky, this game's terrible.
I just wasted my money.
But yep, I guess we're gonna keep continuing to waste our money because we're gonna have to review this stuff.
Well, I think it comes out on Steam too, so if we hate it, we could just return it, right?
Yeah, it's PS5, PS4. My PS4 is about to poop itself, so
does your PS4 still work?
Mine barely works, dude. Like, it's running on
like
fumes.
A rocket, like launching?
like I'll usually just play Hollow Knight on it. I can't play Call of Duty on it because it stays at like a smooth texture. It looks like the N64 games when I'm playing that. Gosh. It's like it takes forever to load in, and so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like
Call of Duty can suck my.
It's like, dude, like just to download like a small file is just like, oh yeah, 5 days. I'm like, what? No, not that bad, but it's like it takes like a long time to.
So why do you? It's probably like a little off topic, but why do you think they're still making games for PS4? Is it because PS5 is just gone still?
I mean, it's hard to get your hands on a PS5. You got the scalpers. I raised my fist if you're not listening on YouTube. But
if you're a scalper,
yes,
listening,
I raised my fist and shook it angrily because I just don't like the scalpers that they're doing. That's a whole separate issue, and I think we've already touched on that plenty. But no, I think a lot of people have PS4. They probably started development on it for PS4, and then they're like, oh, we'll just do like an upgrade version for PS5, and that's what it is. I'm assuming that's what they're doing. Like if
your PS4 still works by now, good job.
Yeah, and mine was like the original PS4 too.
Yeah, yours was like the old.
Yeah, I was like, sometimes I forget. Like I have the base version, like the original. So when I see like another different like PS4, like the Pro, and I'm like, what's this whippersnapper stuff? You know, like
it's this new tech.
yeah. It's like, no, Grandpa, the PS5's already out. What? Back in my day, no. But so basically, yeah, like I think that's just what it is. The PS5, it's really hard to get your hands on. So I think. They started probably developing it in for the PS4, and they're just like, we'll release it for the PS4, and then I think it's kind of like why they there's a lot of that like cross-platform games. I think now, and it makes it easier because it's just like, you can keep everything like, you're playing PS4, and I'm willing to bet it's not like a it's not Cyberpunk where like you're gonna have like all this stuff being loaded in. It's kind of like a top-down kind of game, and it's fairly. It looks like it's a low poly kind of game, so it doesn't seem like it's gonna require a lot from your PlayStation. So
it'd be funny if our computers can't handle it.
Yeah,
I would throw my computer out the window. Sorry.
And then
I have a lot of hatred towards technology
right now. And
Fist, I don't remember seeing this one.
Yeah, with the weird bunny thing, and it's I don't know. There's a lot of anthropomorphic. Yeah, is that how you say it? Anthropomorphic, like
furries.
I don't want to say that, but
I got you, Ricky. I got you.
Anthropomorphic characters. I don't know. I
don't like just looking at the picture of it. I mean, you can't see it online.
Oh yeah.
It looks really. Yeah, no, it's not catching my eye. It's just like, what the heck? Why is there a bunny wearing a suit?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I think it's like a little like side-scrolling platformer. Yeah. Oh, it's just that. Yeah, right there. It's like side-scrolling.
You see the big letters?
Yeah. Well, it's like blocking my vision because I have this right here. It's the microphone's blocking it, so I can only see so much. But forged in Shadow Torch. Wow,
yeah,
they really had to make that one work, huh?
Wow, Fist. Yeah. Okay.
Forged in Shadow.
I guess.
Torch. That was. Okay.
I mean, we sound like boomers just complaining about
I know.
game.
These new games here on the PS5. No, and that's PS4, PS5. But it's a side scroller, so it looked kind of interesting. Probably again, not gonna get it. Nothing here really piqued my interest. There's Hunter's Arena. Looking at it now. It's a battle royale.
Oh, come on.
So that instantly turned me off. I'm not too into battle royales right now. Okay, it was fun. Like the first year or so of battle royales that came out. Fortnite.
Sorry.
Anyways, I don't know. It's a brawler. That's what it says here. And I remember kind of seeing it, and it just kind of looked like generic fantasy game. Not gonna probably get it again. Maybe I don't know.
See, that's how you know game's not gonna be good because it's going straight to PlayStation Plus.
Oh, it is?
That's a big shots fired, but yeah.
Oh.
PS Plus. So just wait till August and you get to play it for free.
Well.
I'm not going to play it.
So what's probably going to happen here is that the game is going to be popular for like all of like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and then
the streamers will play it for a day.
Yeah, they'll probably throw some money their way and then be like, hey, yeah. And then they'll be like, go get this game, man, get PlayStation Plus. And then like, few months later, no one's gonna play it. It's gonna be dead servers and everything.
Oh, it's not even a Sony exclusive. It's on PC as well.
I don't know. It's because this one was Sony. This was gonna be for PC and. Then why put it for PS Plus?
So it's early access on PC. Oh, and it's not even coming out to PS5 till later in August.
And then for the Plus, that you can just get it for free. I think they just needed I think what happened is they needed a title for that like month, and then they're like, we don't have anything. Oh, we'll put this game in the Plus. Yeah, that's probably what ended up happening. And then they're like,
yeah, but this is Sony's state of play. You're supposed to be showing off like.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to see like the best of the best kind of thing, like because. Nintendo Directs, as much as trash they get, they're usually pretty hype.
I love Nintendo Directs.
I always have a good time watching the Directs, and so, but I don't know, like the state of play was just kind of.
Ooh, Sifu! I totally forgot about that one. I'm pretty hyped for that one.
Oh, Fight Club.
I like kung fu movies and everything around that. So there's a game that came out years ago where like you had different fighting styles. I don't know if you remember this. It's like it was supposed to be like an MMO. It died instantly. But that game was so
not
fun.
Resolver or whatever it is.
I don't remember.
Like where you have like the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like Resolver, something like that.
That game
got the
was
mask
fun.
and it's like, I did play it a little bit because I think it was for free for a bit on the PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I played it and it was
Absolver.
Yeah. So
The makers of that game made this game. Oops.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and it's pushed back to 2022. Okay, I don't care anymore.
I mean, yeah, it's like dude, 2022 is like next year and like 6 months. So I mean, it's probably not going to be like day one, January 1st, but I don't know. It looks like it could be an interesting game. I wasn't too interested in it. Like again,
really?
But yeah. I mean, it looks cool, but like I feel like the problem with these kind of games is either one playstyle is favored over others, and then if there's multiplayer, you just get cheesed on it because like I don't know, because I did like Absolver when I played it, but there wasn't enough there for me to keep playing it, and like I don't know, I just didn't really feel like that.
Yeah, it's very bare bones.
Yeah, and so I am kind of worried. I hope like if this is like an upgraded, cooler version and everything, like fully fledged out, because it was just more like I was running around beating up some dude here and there, and then like I'd pick up an item or something. Like
and you had to run on.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't very interesting to me personally. I didn't find it kind of. Like it had a lot of potential because I really wanted to play it and try it because I thought it was so cool, and then it just kind of I was lukewarm on it, and then I just eventually.
I can't believe it's delayed. That's devastating.
Jet.
So that's the game I told you about.
Yeah.
It's kind of like yours.
Has not been delayed. Yeah. I don't know. I don't got much to say anything on it. Did you? What do you think?
Again, like these. It's hard to explain these games because it's just like, why am I gonna play it? I don't know.
Because
it's weird.
The whole thing is like, so with Jet, for sure, it's like so it says right here, a sci-fi adventure.
I've never heard of Super Brothers
Sword and Sorcery EP is still on track. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. There's probably someone who knows about that, but I don't know. It's like I know their whole thing was like, oh, they really wanted to make it feel like you can explore the world and that it was really cool. It's a cool sci-fi world, and they wanted to give that whole like, look up to the stars, look how cool it is. Like they wanted to give that whole feel. I don't know.
I like the look of it, but the gameplay didn't really.
What do you even do? I don't even.
I don't really understand. It was like you because
all these. Okay, I'll be honest. All these games blurred together for me.
Yeah,
they're not.
So I think that you fly around, and then you're supposed to collect something, but you're like you can get attacked. I don't know.
Like you're on the run or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really understand it either.
I don't really care to like look into it. I just was like, oh, you're like it's in some water world or something like that. And you're supposed to find whatever. I don't know. You guys, of course, can look up these games, or if you've seen them already. But I don't know. Like, and we don't mean to be insulting if you're interested in any of these games. It's just I don't know. Like, I'm personally just not too interested in it. But if like, who knows? Maybe in like. When these games come out and then we see gameplay and then like streamers and then like, oh wow, it's actually pretty cool. And then that's what happens a lot of the time for me. It's like these trailers are like, I don't know. And then I see actual gameplay and people having fun. And I'm like, hey, let's try it out. The one game I was interested in though, and I did mention this to you before we started recording, was the Demon Slayer game. And so, I'm not gonna even attempt to say the whole thing because it's gonna make me look bad right here. But I don't know Japanese, so I'm not gonna. I don't know.
It's Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles. Yeah.
And so that game right there. And so it was just I don't know, like what do you think? I thought it looked really cool. It gave me kind of like a I don't want to say like Souls-like feel, but it was like it was kind of like
Demon Souls. No.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, but I was like,
Well, remember when you told me? I was like, Demon Slayer. I was like,
you're like,
you mean
Demon
Souls?
And then you're like, what are you talking about?
Did we watch the same one? Yeah. It looks interesting, but
so
I don't like the English acting.
Oh yeah, I don't like the dub. I really hope we can change the Japanese, but I'm pretty sure that that's pretty much standard in most games, like when Japanese games and all that stuff. Like I did seem interested in this. It just kind of seemed like it was gonna be like a boss fighting kind of game, and you just go and slay demons.
Yeah, it's not going the route of the typical like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z fighting game.
Because remember they had that fighting game for Demon Slayer. Did you ever play that?
Did it come out?
thought it did.
There's a new one coming out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's this one.
Because I remember there's like a
that one looks
3D fighting.
There's that one's a cool looking one, but I don't think that's out yet.
Really? Okay, I could have sworn I watched a video on it or something, but
we're
I don't know.
like
I don't really I don't know. I didn't really care for the fighting games of it because they're always generic usually. Like My Hero Academia, they came out with their fighting game, and then it was like it looks cool too, but it's just like I don't know.
You're stepping on a lot of toes right now, Ricky.
I don't know. It's like I like fighting games, but it's like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Like I like those games.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's one of those games that you just pick up when you're like really bored, or like if you have people over and you're tired of smashing.
I guess I see it more as like I'm not going to spend $60 to essentially get a reskin of Mortal Kombat. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I played some of the Naruto games, Naruto
exactly
fighting
what
games,
I did.
And like those are fun. I probably wouldn't play them though, like consistently. What was it? You had Fighters, right? Dragon Ball.
Oh, I love that game.
That one was actually good. That was a competent fighting game, and that was actually
very,
good game.
Very good fighting game.
And I really wish the other anime fighting games would mimic how they did that. Not like everything, but like I think the art was really good. Like the animations were really good. The fighting felt really nice,
and it was Dragon Ball Z. I was like,
and so like it was like it gave me a lot of like to draw comparisons like Marvel versus Capcom, and that I loved as a kid, and I played that all the time. And like you got the 3 fighters and then the assist. It was really really awesome. I like that. I hope if I was gonna play a fighting game, it'd kind of be more in that realm. I think it would have to be good like Fighters to me. It is like for like a anime fighting game, because then I'll be buying like one of these like every year. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Well, have you seen Guilty Gear Strive?
Okay, so I've always wanted to play Guilty Gear, but then I was like, I never got into it. I never made the leap into like doing that. But have you played Guilty Gear?
Well, I played Guilty Gear, but this new one that came out, apparently it's really good for like casual people, because I think it has like certain modes, and it actually teaches you, and like you don't have to be good at it to have fun. Like I know with Dragon Ball Z, the fighters game, you kind of had to be good.
Oh yeah, you had to get good.
You're just mashing one button, it's a combo, and like people troll you for that. So
yeah, dude. Dude, like especially when you just get a good combo going on that, it's just like it hurts.
So good.
It hurts though when you're getting comboed, because it's just like you just like.
But you're just like watching. It's like that's why I didn't really like want to learn how to play that game, because like I only like watching it, because it's like man, it's like
it's cool, especially when you see
it. It's just like wow.
Yeah, it's like when you see everyone just fighting and all that stuff. Like okay, that's cool.
But I'm also obsessed with Dragon Ball, so maybe biased.
But as someone who's like not a big Dragon Ball fan, I enjoyed it.
Have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z?
I've seen Dragon Ball. I've seen like maybe like 100 episodes of Dragon Ball, and then I've seen a few episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and then I've seen Super, like a little bit of it. Like I honestly I don't remember seeing Super, but
you should watch all of it. So we should do an episode on that.
Yeah.
I think with
we do a whole like Dragon Ball review from Sony's Never Watched Dragon Ball. I enjoyed Dragon Ball, like, because it was kind of like a comedy and everything, and I like those old animes, but I know you have to get more into like Z and all that before like the fighting is like super.
Yeah, I mean you can kind of
crazy.
I don't want to say this, but you can skip Dragon Ball just so you can watch Dragon Ball Z and then watch Super, because
and then go back and then appreciate.
Yeah, because they're gonna have a new movie again next year. So
I don't know. I just feel like I feel like there's so many episodes,
Yeah, but okay. I'm gonna sound like Angel with One Piece. You need to watch it.
No. Like yeah, it's like I'm not saying it's bad. I just never got into it as a kid, and it was one of those things like same thing. I never watched anime as a kid. Yeah. Besides Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon and Beyblade, like those like not generic. I shouldn't say those kind of like directed towards kids, because they're not generic, but it's like that directed towards kids, kind of more Americanized animes, where it's like yes. Pokemon is an anime, but it's like it becomes more of a you have to start watching things like Dragon Ball,
or Sailor Moon back in the day.
Yeah, like that's more anime, but it's kind of like it's very Americanized or Westernized, I see so saying, like with a lot of the shows, they're directed towards an international audience.
I would actually be very surprised if you don't like Dragon Ball Z.
Because
I feel like the natural progression of every single character and like how the story is just like so blended well together, like that's that's what makes an anime good.
Yeah.
And like if for some reason people might not like it, and it's like, huh? But maybe it's because there's no like booba or I don't know. But I don't know. It's a good story. It it goes well. I don't know. Action, comedy. What else? It's like
waifus.
Why? Yeah, like Chi-Chi. Hello.
Oh, calm down.
Literally Chi-Chi. Like
Anyways,
sorry.
Don't want you getting a little hot and bothered with the anime characters right now.
My toys right now.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he's like, this character.
I am that guy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I lost track of what we're saying. But
going back
to Demon Slayer, we got a little sidetrack there. But anyways, with Demon Slayer, basically, I thought it looked interesting. I think it'd be kind of cool. I think my main worry for the game is that it's just going to be like an auto-locking fighting game.
Yeah.
That it's just going to be like quick time, like, oh, press this button, like, or jump over this, then hit, or something like that. Like, I'm hoping that they actually put time and effort and that they actually make this like a proper, I guess, sword fighting game. I don't know.
It'd be
like,
cool if it was like hack and slash kind of.
Hack and slash is always fun. The problem is like, I don't know if you would need like a whole bunch of demons everywhere, and I think that's not really the focus of the game.
Yeah.
I think they would need something where it's like a one-on-one, like, oh, you fight one demon at a time, kind of like, like that. I don't know what's the team behind this. It doesn't say. Oh, Sega. That's what it says, right?
Oh yeah.
Sega behind it. You know what, dude? I have to give credit to Sega, actually. Shout out to Sega,
They never
man.
make bad games.
Like, I mean, they had a long descent since the 90s, but you know what? They've been coming out with some consistent stuff, like, or at least I think they've been kind of publishing more, like Humankind that we've been into. I think Sega's behind that one, and then like Endless Legends, another game, Endless Space and all that. Like, they've been kind of behind that with like Altitude, something like that studio. Like, they've been kind of working with them, and so like to get some of these games out, and I know like they're coming out with like a Sonic Colors remake, which was probably my favorite Sonic game, modern Sonic game outside of the classics, of course. But yeah, I don't know. Like,
it's very interesting how Sega is always like very quiet, but like everything they release, people are like generally hyped for. Like, they don't really have to say like, "Hey, we're coming with a brand new game." It's just like, "Oh yeah, here's our new game."
I think I don't know. Like, I would love to see Sega really come back.
Like, you want like they should like have their own like press conference or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, maybe Sega doesn't really care to like try to rival Nintendo again. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's been so long. Like, I don't know if they're ever gonna like put out their own console again or whatever. Blah blah blah. Like, I think they should focus on making good games and publishing good games. And I think that's what they've been doing for the past few years.
I have no complaints with Sega.
And so like I haven't really seen like anything on Sega. Like, people complaining outside of like, they need to change this, or they should make more Sonic games or whatever. Like, so it seems like they've been good boys and girls over there so far, but I don't know. I haven't
Keep it up, Sega.
I haven't done too much research, but like from the games that like they published here and there, like I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, I didn't know Sega did this. Like, because it's like the game studio, and then it's like Sega, and then that's it.
Like, oh,
it's like, oh,
yeah, that meme.
Like, yeah, boy.
Oh.
Lost
Next
Judgment. Game. Yeah, next game. I don't know what to say. It's a Yakuza spin-off. That's what it says. It's a crime thriller Yakuza spin-off.
Oh, it's a sequel to 2019's. I didn't know that. Interesting. It looks I don't know. I kind of like story games, but at the same time,
I've heard very good things about the Yakuza games. I've been interested in trying it.
It's on the Game Pass.
Oh yeah,
the Xbox one, right?
Yes. Okay. I think they have Zero or like the collection or something like that. But one of my friends, he did mention like, oh no, it's a very fun game. Like, and then like you got that meme.
Yeah, the song meme.
Yeah,
whatever.
the song, and like I was like.
Just play it just for that one meme and then never play it again.
Yeah. I bet that's what a lot of people have done. That's something I've done before. Okay, I'm not sure if you've done this before, but have you been looking at like a meme, like an anime meme? And you're like, oh, that's funny. And then you go look up the series and you watch the whole anime just in anticipation for that one scene. You're like, like you're like DiCaprio where he's like,
yeah, well, that's what I do with Invincible.
Yeah. He said the thing. Yeah, I like that. That's funny. I have that tendency. So I wouldn't put it past me like to actually play the games just because of that one meme.
It's like now I know.
That's how influential memes are, man. It's crazy.
Sheesh.
But yeah, Lost Judgment, probably not gonna play because we haven't played any of the sequels. I'm not saying it's bad or good. It looked kind of interesting.
It'd probably be a good game to watch somebody else play.
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to describe it.
I guess we should be the people they watch. Anyway, sorry. Death Stranding. I don't know about
Death Stranding director's cut. They should. This is a whole brand new one, right? Are they making you?
No, so it's the whole game just with like I guess.
It's
an
just
expansion.
it's just an expansion. Okay, because I thought it was like a whole brand new thing, and I was like, well, I don't know about paying 60.
I still don't understand the story.
I never played it. I was very interested in it when like they were like doing the whole secretive stuff. Kojima, he has a good way of making things kind of look like kind of
like epic and like
spooky or like interesting. Like, what's this? What's the baby mean? And then you're just a mailman. And then so it's
yeah.
I mean, congrats on him for hyping it up. To like mailman simulator. That's what it kind of like. I mean, yes, of course, the game. Everyone knows Death Stranding received a lot of criticism. I don't know. Like, it just really. I just don't. I didn't play the first one. I don't see a reason why to play the Plus version. Okay, so like it has a racing mode, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like they have like.
Yeah.
I was like, why? There's no people around. Maybe that's why he's lonely. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, you're like drifting with like the baby and the little like thing, and he's like,
baby on board sticker.
Oh yeah.
I would love
one
that.
Of those.
I would buy it just because of that.
But, and then Deathloop. The final one. So because we were talking about this one before the show, and
yeah,
it was okay. So you said it was pretty much Dishonored.
I think so. The only thing that kind of caught my attention is that the girl that's killing you can be another actual player. Yeah. But then it's like if that person's like just super good, how are you supposed to progress?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw the gameplay. I mean, it looks like it looks like it has solid gameplay, but it just looks like a lot like Dishonored. I actually confused it for the next Dishonored for a second when I saw it. Like I was like because I was only half paying attention to it and I had to back up because I thought the voice acting, I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
A little bit over the top. And then, of course, they're like, they're swearing up and down, like, to make it look like, we're cool, we're edgy, of course, you got to add the profanity to show that this is for adults, man.
Yeah, throwing those bombs.
Edgy. Yeah, we're different, yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like,
it could be a good game.
It could. I think it's up in the air. I think it would be an interesting game to watch. I like the concept of the whole Groundhog's Day and all that stuff. I think that'll be a very interesting idea to play with. I don't know if it's the first game to do that. I know there's been a lot of games that kind of mess with time and going back in time.
There's a lot of movies do
that. But and a lot of movies, of course. I just don't know. It seems like it's probably gonna be a solid game. Or when I say solid, I think like it's just gonna be meh. Like you can't complain about it, but you can't really praise it. I think that's what it's gonna end up being. Like it's gonna be kind of like a 6, 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
like,
I mean they're showing a lot of it, and they're like, this is like the PS5 game, so it's like people are like, I think people are gonna assume it's gonna be good just because like Sony's hyping it up so much.
Yes.
And then people are gonna play it and they're like,
my problem is sometimes I feel like when Sony hypes up the game, it's like we put too much money into this to let it fail.
Please.
Yeah. So anyways. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts overall?
Just give me God of War. Give me Elden Ring, and then Sony will be fine in my books. Don't censor anything.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of wrapping my head around that.
It's just a weird thing. I don't know. Like, I don't really understand. But anyways.
Okay, so Deathloop. Sorry, real quick.
Go ahead.
So they're censoring, the blood, but Deathloop, like, you're killing people. And whatever.
I think the problem is the context of, like, she's killing herself.
Yeah, but, like, Deathloop is, like, more realistic-looking people. So don't you think that would be more censored than an anime girl who doesn't look real?
I think because it's like visual novels always get like a tough time. I think.
I don't know.
And so it's like because it's like it's not an action game, it's a visual novel, and so I think like I don't know. Like I don't want to even like try to justify it, but it's just a little weird. But anyways, if you
side note, again, sorry, Ricky.
Oh, go ahead.
I've never been so triggered with like video games in my life.
Did you want to go on your little Activision Blizzard rant?
No, that's the whole episode.
We'll be here for another hour.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I'm still mad about that.
Yeah. Okay, and then finally our Black Widow review, which I think I'll let you kind of handle that one.
All right. So we watched it yesterday, packed theater, which was interesting. Before I watched that movie, I said it was gonna be a solid like 6.5, and then after watching the movie, I feel like it's a 6.5 still. It didn't really tick any boxes for me. What about you?
I enjoyed it for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I've set my expectations pretty low with Marvel at this point for myself personally.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect to go in and to really care because personally, I think, and then this is a not controversial opinion. You know, everyone's always says instead of Captain Marvel, they should have done Black Widow movie. But of course, they wanted Captain Marvel to be like the new face and everything.
Actually,
blah,
I think
blah, blah.
everybody said, from like all the reviews and like all the comments, they're like,
why isn't Black Widow get a movie?
Yeah.
And I think this movie would have made me cared a lot more, especially in Endgame when she died, because then you would have been like, oh shoot, let's actually. Spoilers. This is gonna be a spoiler review right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're listening this far, So no. Of how like,
it's like,
in the movie she reconnects with her family. That's the whole theme of the movie. She's reconnecting with her family and this and that. Like, well, okay. So like the themes of the movie, I felt were a little generic, and I feel like we've been seeing a lot of like family. What is family? And hey, family can be whoever they are. It doesn't have to be your biological parents. They can be anybody. Yeah. And, you know, blood is thicker than water. Or
I don't like that
there's just like a lot of different things where it's like, it's either, oh, yes, we are family, so we have to stick together. Like, you know, you haven't seen those Fast and Furious memes? Yeah. And stuff like that. And
that's
then,
literally like, that kept playing in my head. It's like, you know, they kept saying family. I was like, Dom? Where are you?
And so I was like, where's that bald guy at? You know, it's like, oh my gosh. Like, it was a little like, I think a lot of the themes of the movie were a little too on the nose. I think they kind of, you know, the whole family thing and all that. I get it. You know, it's like, okay. I just think it would have been, if they did that movie first, Black Widow, and then when you had Endgame, it would have been more sad. Like, oh no, she rekindled, like, the fire with their family, and now they're dysfunctional, but you know they're trying to get to know each other better, but now they won't. And I mean, you can't do like I feel like a post thing where it's like, oh no, actually she did do that, but it's like after, and it's like, well, nobody cares. Endgame was how long ago, so it's like nobody cares.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't make sense why they made a movie for before Civil War. When like I feel like the whole movie was
no, it was during. Was it before?
It was before Civil War.
Oh, was it? Because they were all on the run.
Yeah, everybody ran already, and so Civil War is when she picked up whoever. So that's way far back.
Yeah,
but it's like I don't know why they made this movie because we already know she's dead.
Yeah, and then
it's
so
like,
it
I don't really care.
For me, it lost a lot of the tension because when I was sitting there like, oh, cool, like, oh no, how is she gonna escape? And then I'm like, wait. She's already dead. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. And then like maybe that was myself being a boomer and like, oh no. But like I don't know. Like I mean, I enjoyed the movie, but I think the experience was hampered by when they released it, and I think unfortunately, the golden age is kind of over for superhero movies.
Bye Marvel.
I think after seeing this, I thought. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was It was a solid movie, but you can definitely tell like there's a decline. There's gonna be a decline like in these movies. Unfortunately,
I don't know. The movie was too typical. Like I predicted everything. It's like they're gonna go, you know, round up the gang again, and then she's pretend to be mad or bad, and then all of a sudden she's good, and then all of a sudden they like each other, and then it's like maybe they'll die, but most likely not.
Yeah, they kind of I think the problem is Marvel's gonna suffer from its own success because the whole Marvel formula, air quotes, is kind of, it's tied up into this weird like they have their own generic kind of version of their own movies, if that makes sense. Like oh, there's a Marvel style of comedy and how the movies flow, and so I think the problem is that they're gonna keep with that formula because of course it makes money, but then it's just slowly like gonna have diminishing returns, I think, in some of these movies, and because like again with Red Guardian, they played the same trope twice in 2 movies.
Yep.
And so because it was, oh look, it's the fat, blonde dude that is like past his prime, and
he's a sad boy, so he's fine.
And so like with the whole Thor fat chick thing, I thought, okay, yeah, it was kind of funny, but at the same time I didn't enjoy it, and I didn't really think about it until like I can't remember what YouTube video I was watching, but it's like, well, that kind of ruins all of Thor's redemption arc, because all the trials and tribulations and his mother being like, oh, well, you need to be a better person or whatever.
That's true.
And then like you always need to work hard or whatever, or like, Odin saying like, and all this stuff, and then they just wiped that.
Yeah.
And then like I saw episode 1 of Loki, wasn't really impressed, and then just didn't keep watching. I probably will finish it, but it didn't make me be like, wow, I want to see next week's episode. And like a lot of people had problems with WandaVision, but I at least kind of enjoyed that because it was doing something a little bit different, and I was curious to see, is this just gonna be like a sitcom, or is it actually gonna like develop into something else? And then I just ended up going meh at the end of the whole thing.
Okay.
And so it was just, I think the problem is, if this stuff came out, how do I word it, like in the like at the beginning of Marvel, it would have been getting a lot of praise.
Yeah.
But I think because like we're going up that like hill, but now it's like, oh well, it's hard to top yourself sometimes. It's like just to keep going higher and higher and better and better. And so like I understand like not everything's gonna be like the best Marvel can be, but it's just, I don't know. I just really didn't. This one is. It stuck the landing, as in like, okay, I got my money's worth to watch the movie in theater, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, dude, like I want another movie and this and that. And actually,
it didn't excite you for the next like phase of Marvel.
Yeah. What did you think of the post-credit scene? Because I know you had a lot of opinions on that.
Yeah. So I mean, we can spoil everything, right?
Yeah. This is all spoilers.
Okay,
like
so
we've already mentioned that. Like this is
you have to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier to kind of finally know who this girl is, which I don't know Marvel, but she was announced in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then if you watch this movie and you see her for the first time, you're like, who the heck is this? And it's like, I don't like when movies are kind of, I guess, expecting you to watch their stuff.
Really? I don't. I like,
because you didn't see like Winter Soldier, so you didn't know who the heck this girl was.
Yeah, but
right?
I didn't care.
Oh, that's true.
So it's like, well, okay.
I mean, like for me, who wants to like everything and like everything should flow, it's like I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. And like
no. I know what you're saying though.
Because all she did in the scene is she's like, hey, I have allergies to the Midwest, which is like, and then she's like, hey, you want to kill the person that killed your sister? And it's like, here you go. And then that's it. Yeah. And then like we're like just supposed to automatically assume that what's the sister's name? I don't remember. Whatever her name is, she's
the
already
girl with the thick Russian accent.
Yeah.
She's already like, we don't care. Like,
she's already working for her, and it's like, how, why? Like, shouldn't they have made this movie, I don't know, set up for all the other movies and kind of like explain how her sister is not working for this girl?
And then I just kind of like it's they made it very vague at the end. I think because it seems it's a little unfocused because I mean maybe this is the nostalgia lens on. I felt like Marvel back then was a little bit more focused. Like, no, this is going to happen. This is what happens to the characters. Or at least there's some sort of teased, like, nod to, like, this is what we're doing next. It's like what happened to Red Guardian and the mom. And then the sister's been working for her. Like, oh, well, what happened between all that time? Is there going to be another movie in between that time? So then now are they just going to be making movies pre-Endgame? Well, like, see, all the time?
Even in the old Marvel movies, we already knew who the big bad is. Like since like the very first Captain America.
I think the Skrulls are going to be kind of like the big bad, aren't they? Like,
well, see, they kind of name drop them in like one of
Galactus maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, but like and then Loki, because you're not really watching Loki, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the season finale is this week, but
I thought it ended.
No, this Wednesday is the last episode.
Well, I can probably catch up and then just like we'll do like a final take on the whole thing.
It's an interesting show, but like the big bad, like this show is supposed to be so important, and we're like keep watching it, and it's like I don't think it's gonna be important until the very last episode.
Like they like it's just gonna be like they name drop somebody. I'm only really caring about Spider-Man at this point. I just want to see the Spider-Man movies. Like just give me the movie. Give me the movie.
You gotta wait till December.
You know, like you know, it's like it's like that's all I care for. Spider-Man's my boy, kind of thing. Like that's what I care about.
I'm a Marvel hater, I guess. Whatever, sue me. But I'm very scared for Doctor Strange for that movie to suck.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm very scared for Spider-Man to suck.
Don't say that, man.
Like I'm like terrified because I don't know. Doctor Strange is supposed to introduce the multiverse, but Loki's already kind of doing that, and like they don't really have a kind of importance to Loki.
I think
I don't know.
I think the problem is they're gonna have to take risk again to make it to work, and because at the beginning they took big risks, with Robert Downey Jr. being Iron Man.
Yeah.
The whole idea of like a superhero team up movie like the Avengers, I mean it's kind of been seen before, I guess, but not
to the scale of Marvel.
But not to the scale of Marvel. Like what Marvel did was excellent, and I just think you know Disney in general I think is in decline, and then like they just I don't know, they're just gonna rehash the same old thing, and they're not gonna want to take risks because it's still gonna take money. They make the same money anyway. So I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a lot of meh movies. That's my prediction. It's gonna be a lot of meh where it's like it's good, but it's not great. You know, it's not.
They're gonna what's the word? Retcon. That's the word, right? Like where they change everything. I think that's what they're just gonna do for all the Marvel.
They're just gonna retcon a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I rather have them just not wipe the like. If I was Kevin Feige, I would have been like, okay, end of Infinity War, everyone dies. And then what happens is that in order to survive the remaining heroes, because Thanos just like does whatever, I think it would have been like, okay, well, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna collapse another universe with ours, so we can keep the same heroes, but they're gonna be slightly different or something. Like they could have done something like that, and then so like you would have Captain America, but yeah, he's old, but then you would have like some new guy being Captain America, and I think that would have been better if they just collapsed. Like some like Earth 2 whatever kind of thing. I mean, I know it's not, you know.
Yeah, but see, like Loki kind of disproves all that because everything that happens is supposed to happen. So like Captain America was supposed to go to a different timeline and then get old or whatever. And then the Loki.
Yeah, that was a little weird when they did explain that. So like, oh, like because people were saying like, so when he went back in time, they didn't get him in trouble because he was supposed to go back in time and do.
They were supposed to time travel in the timeline. It's like, but Loki can't. Like Loki's like.
It's like, oh, the Avengers were meant to go back in time.
Because like the Loki show.
But then when Thanos messed with the time stones, wouldn't they have gotten him in trouble, being like, hey, buddy? But then,
so the Earth is supposed to die?
But then, well, no, and then I think it's just like, well, as presuming, because they're kind of playing like God in this world, so I think it's like they're kind of more like, yeah, the bad things are supposed to happen, but I don't know, like it just felt kind of weird, and I think. Of course, when what kind of turned me off to the series of Loki, and then I know we're supposed to be reviewing Black Widow here, but what kind of turned me off is the whole Infinity Stones. Like, oh, like
they're just toys.
Black Widow died for nothing because look, everyone has them in their drawers.
What did the guys say? Oh yeah, we have a bunch of those.
Yeah, and then so it diminishes Black Widow's sacrifice because it's like she didn't have to die. All you had to do was have your boy Loki sprinkle a few of those on Earth and go, here, Avengers. You know what I mean? Like. I don't know. I didn't really like that. I think, again,
well, see, that's
to circle back on the Black Widow movie, that kind of just steps on her whole sacrifice and just diminishes her character.
Yep.
And then I don't know, but there's a lot of butt shots in the movie. Was that just me?
Oh my gosh, okay. I'm glad I didn't want to say anything. The first 5 minutes was like the camera was like shoop on the butt. She's carrying the box, butt, and it's like an upward shot of like her butt and like her waist for like a good solid like 5 minutes. I'm like.
I was like, am I watching an anime here? I had that, like, they literally use, like, that anime scene where it's like, don't you think animes kind of, like, have, like, that weird angle for some women or whatever the meme is? You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, don't you think that camera angles on animes are kind of weird? No, what do you mean? And it's just, the girl's butt.
It was a little too obvious.
It was a little, like, I mean.
She, like, literally picked up the box, which was, like, a regular camera angle, and then as soon as she turned around, camera zoop. And it's like I thought Marvel was supposed to be like woke and all this woman power, but
I did think that was interesting that they're like, look, we're gonna have to keep the male audience here. who we're gonna have. We're gonna have Scarlett Johansson. We're gonna have another attractive blonde, and then we're gonna just give butt shots the entire movie. Do you think that's they're like we're just gonna rely on that? I don't know. Like I thought that was kind of weird because I know like they're doing the whole that. I remember Scarlett Johansson saying something like that. The original Marvel, well, how she was interpreted in like the first, like I think it was in Iron Man 2 movies, like it was like sexist. And then so I thought this one was like, I was like, okay, well that'd be kind of interesting. I guess this is gonna be a little bit more of a woman power movie.
Zipper down and
I mean, I wasn't playing here, but
it was up in this movie.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, so like we're just doing butt shots now, right? It's like okay. I was like,
it was pretty. I'm surprised they got away with this.
I was a little like, I know like a lot of other people too were like, kind of weird how they used a lot of butt shots in the movie. They're like, this is the last time we're gonna have her. We gotta get enough footage of this, right? Like that's basically what it seemed like.
Put it in the memory bank, boys.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I didn't really like the movie. They did Taskmaster dirty. I don't know how to say this without sounding like a woman hater, but she's not supposed to be a girl.
I saw the twist, like, oh, like that's kind of interesting. You said they pulled a Last of Us where like, oh no, actually, she's the person that didn't die, but I whatever, and I don't know. I really don't care. I expected it. I expected something like that to happen, so I'm not like, and like, I don't like it when they do that route because then they're like, of course they're gonna have to do the thing of like, oh no, now she's not controlled. So it's like, well, Taskmaster is kind of cool. Yeah, like I want it. Like, so is he gonna be like a good guy? And I'm not too familiar with how the comics, how he's interpreted in there. But I think in the movies we're talking about. I think it would have been cooler if he. I mean, I think it would have been cool. Like, oh, he could have fought like Daredevil and Spider-Man and all this stuff. Like, I'm not sure if you saw the cartoons for Spider-Man where it's like
supposed to be a skull.
It's like, oh yeah, I was like, where's his skull face? But
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was like, I always liked the way he was kind of interpreted in the cartoons because it was like, oh, he's like, and then like, you know, of course, like I would have liked to seen him fight Captain America and like all these people, I think it would have been cool, but I think it was like they kind of just threw her away for the sake of the plot, and then I was like, because you know you can't have her be a bad guy still because then how is Black Widow gonna have her redemption arc with killing her? And I think they wrote themselves into a corner, and then now they had an interesting character they could have used, and then they dropped it.
They made her a good guy or something, or
well, she's not controlled anymore by the end of the movie, and then so it's like, is she just gonna go on and be an assassin? Because like, you know what I mean? Like yeah, I mean they can just make her a bad guy of her own free will, but then it's like, then again, it just poops on everything that Black Widow's done, and then it just kind of. I don't know. I just felt like the movie in general was kind of disrespectful towards the Black Widow character.
Big time.
I think like especially like how now the whole movie, it seems like it's just gonna be like, oh, now you're gonna have to hunt down Hawkeye and do all this stuff, and it's like, well,
I mean, Black Widow's gonna be forgotten, which is like I don't really like that, but
I mean, she was pretty much like one of the handful of like good female characters in the Marvel universe that they actually cared to write for the first half, and then they just did her dirty.
They tried too hard to make us like feel sad after knowing already she's dead. She's like,
I think they just dropped the ball. They just dropped the ball so hard in this movie, and I just didn't like how they kind of just ran with the same jokes, and then like of course the sister, which I don't even remember her name.
I honestly
like
I don't
care about her, but it's like the whole like one-liner stuff and everything, and I just felt like her accent just was off sometimes. Was that just me? That her accent was a little like it would get a little heavier sometimes, and then it was like
she's trying to be more American or
like
something.
I don't know, but it just felt, I don't know, the that it was kind of weird. But I enjoyed the aspect though of how they were like how to word it, like because they didn't have, most of them didn't have superpowers, they had to rely on big action scenes. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like, oh, it was a little bit of a mix-up in the Marvel formula because they couldn't rely on the superpowers to make most things look cool. I thought the combat was okay. Like, when
the combat was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm glad they got rid of a lot of the nausea, like the camera,
going
camera
like
shake and everything. Like, Because remember, like for a while, like I think like
It's
was it in
just like-
Civil War? They were like boom, boom, and I was just like, whoa, who's she fighting?
He's like
The
"Oh, I
camera?
could- yeah.
You know, like it's like so. It just I'm glad that it didn't have like a shaky camera throughout the whole thing, but we had to trade it off with a nice butt shot. So
Yeah. What'd you think of the slow mo?
the slow mo.
Yeah, I feel like there's unnecessary. You didn't feel like in the beginning there's a lot of slow mo. I think when she like blew up in the car there was slow mo.
Oh, when she's like.
Yeah, and then when she's starting to fight like the other girls, there's
Yeah.
slow mo.
Okay, was this just me? But like when at the beginning though, like when Red Guardian was using the gun, I thought it was bolt action at first, like because he went like this, remember?
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
he
yeah,
just
with the
kept firing
sniper,
it, and
yeah.
then, and then he just kept firing multiple shots. And I'm like,
He's
wait,
Red Guardian, okay?
Yeah. I was like, I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, wait, was it a bolt action or was it just like a semi-automatic? I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird because I was like the way that he made it look like it was kind of in like the style of the rifle. I thought was interesting. But okay, but to go back, no, I thought the slow mo. I don't know. It was fine. I think maybe they're trying to be like Wonder Woman. Remember when like all that
Yeah.
and then the slow mo and everything.
No. Didn't work for that. It's not gonna work for this.
Yeah, you think Kevin Feige was just like he saw
He's like,
the Snyder
"Oh,
cut,
yeah,
and
they
he
like
was like,
slow-mo,
"Hey,
huh?"
director, use a little slow mo." You know what I'm saying?
We gotta make it 2 hours.
Hey, they didn't do the slow mo on the butt, so
Yeah,
wasn't
I
good.
mean, like, why not? Anyways, sorry. For any
Well,
female
but
listeners.
don't worry,
jokes.
our audience is like only dudes.
Yeah. From never mind. Anyways.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Ricky.
Yeah. Go ahead, though. But, overall, like, what are your
I don't know.
your
It was too
final
cliche.
thoughts?
I kind of
Cliche?
predict. I kind of I don't know. I predicted the whole movie. It's a typical like family redemption arc.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
movie had no meaning to me because it's like years after
She's dead.
she's
Who cares?
dead. Yeah, it's like whatever. Who cares?
It was kind of to set up another character that didn't really win us over 100%.
Like the name drops were kind of like whatever. I don't know. I'm just sad with the movie. It's a 6.5 just because the action was cool.
So like a C.
Yeah, like a C minus.
Yeah, I give it a B.
I don't know.
I give it a B. I think
I just-
also granted we haven't gone out and watched a lot of movies, so it was like I think
It's either that or Fast 9. So you know.
yeah, that one I kind of I
Imagine
don't care.
us liking Fast 9. I kind of want to go see it anyways.
Oh, imagine Fast 9 being better than Black Widow. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, at least okay. Look, this month is like a lot of good movies coming out like weekly. So maybe we won't be so negative next episode.
Yeah, I mean, and then I guess kind of like, what do you think's next for Marvel? Like, what do you like? Because I know they have was it? I was gonna say Shenmue, but no, what is it? That's
Nah,
a
of
game,
course,
right? That's a game.
Shang-Chi. That one looks interesting.
The 10 Rings.
But again, like I said with Sifu, I like Kung Fu, so I'm gonna be a little bit more hyped for that one.
I'm hoping that they're gonna do what kind of like Iron Fist should have done, is like like have a good main character that's actually palatable.
I'm curious to see if anybody watched the Netflix shows except for Daredevil and the Punisher.
I couldn't watch Iron Fist season 2.
I watched season 1.
It was season 1 was just like I didn't like the main character. He didn't look like an athletic,
He just looked like a I don't know.
monk warrior monk thing. But I'm kind of curious to see how they're gonna do the 10 Rings movie. But what do you think?
I don't know.
Because what else are they coming out with? They have the 10 Rings.
I think so. After this week with Loki, if all the theories are correct, it's gonna definitely be interesting. But it might just be a big ol' nope, ain't gonna happen. I don't want to spoil it. So if the theories are true, then I kind of have a little bit of high hope for the Marvel movies. But at the same time, with Doctor Strange and the multiverse, I'm kind of afraid that they're going to kind of just turn everything around or either change everything just because it's a multiverse and they kind of just poop on everything that already happened.
Yeah.
Because I know it goes Doctor Strange and then it goes Spider-Man, right? Because I think those two are coming out this year.
Oh, they are? Okay, because I haven't really been keeping up. Because,
Yeah.
like, they shuffled around some of the stuff, and it's like...
Yeah. And see, another thing that's scaring me is there's no trailers for either of those movies. And I think Doctor Strange is supposed to come out in, like, September.
You know what? I don't want a trailer for Spider-Man. I don't want it. Because
you know why I think they're not showing the trailer? because they're having a really hard time to kind of keep everything a surprise.
Yeah.
Because remember, Venom's coming out this year as well.
I want everything to be a surprise, dude. I want everything
Think
to
about
be
it.
surprise.
Spider-Man.
I want to be hype in the theaters. I want to be hype in the theaters.
Because Spider-Man comes out after Venom.
Mm-hmm.
And Venom is like, introducing Carnage and all that. And there might be, some name drops. So it's like, maybe they want to do a trailer because they might show a little too much.
I think that'd be kind of hard. I'd rather like them just be kind of like, hey, it's like just Tom Holland and Zendaya just being like, hey, this is my new suit. Look how cool it is. Yeah. And we're going to go check out the movie this Saturday or whatever. And, it's going to be the next big part of the adventure. Cool. And then that's like the trailer ending. Like, we got a lot of surprises in store or something for you guys. I'd rather just have them do that. Don't show any footage. Because my problem is like, especially like during Civil War, they had Spider-Man in the trailer. It was hype at the time, but could you imagine being in theaters when seeing Spider-Man come out, dude? And they showed it off in the trailer.
Everyone would have freaked out.
Yeah, dude. Like, I would have preferred that. But it was so hard to avoid the spoilers because everyone was talking about it. Spider-Man. Like, you can't avoid the spoilers because the way the internet works now. Because I know a lot of people are like, just don't watch the trailer. And it's like, well, it doesn't help when you just go and, like, especially if you follow a lot of these, like comic books and video game and all this, like,
anything, really.
Any pop culture related stuff. It's just like you're going to eventually see a spoiler for it. And then it's just like,
I feel like it diminished the movie because that whole movie, I was like, Spider-Man? Where is he? Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Spider-Man? And then when he showed up, he's like, nice. I don't want to watch the movie anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's a little action scenes, and
like,
those are fun. But yeah, I think overall, I think Black Widow was like meh. I think it was a B.
Doctor Strange, like maybe okay, because again, Loki has to be like it's important.
Yeah.
So maybe my opinion will change, but I don't. Doctor Strange has to be like really, really good. And they better not just be like, hey, this is a multiverse. Wrong one. Sorry. Everyone's alive.
Yeah.
Here's Chris Evans.
Could you imagine that? They're like, oh, on this one, that never happened. So we're just going to join that world. Yeah. And then we're going to like, I don't know. I mean, because I did mention like maybe they're just going to mash the two. They should have just maybe mashed the two like Earths together or something and do something like that. I don't know. But
time patrol people.
But yeah, you're right. Like the time patrol people.
Now Doctor Strange can look at like 50 million different timelines and pick one that they win.
Yeah. I don't know.
I hate entertainment though.
All right. I think we'll cut it off here before.
Oh, but if you do hate entertainment as much as us, give us a like or a dislike on our YouTube at Passive Pop Culture.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on our social medias and,
comment, tell us we're wrong. I don't care.
We need it for the algorithm, so go ahead.
I mean, we'll probably be crying, but like Ricky said.
You'll hurt our feelings, but you'll boost us in the algorithm, so we'll wipe our tears with dollars eventually.
Get like nothing but like negative. Okay, it's like, all right, guys.
We eventually make it one day. We'll wipe those tears with dollars and then...
You first,
But yeah, in the meantime, we'll just use our sleeves. But all right. If you listened to this far, thank you for putting up with us today. All right. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I mean, I'm pretty triggered this week, so.
Yeah, we can tell. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. See ya.